What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video. Want to say happy game day to everybody. Football is finally back, and I think we are all just super stoked to finally see the New England Patriots back on the field. The season might not be what we're used to, but I think because of that, it's what we're all so looking forward to for the 2020 season when looking at the New England Patriots. So super pumped about that. Make sure you guys to subscribe to the channel for all of your post-game news and all of that good stuff. But some sad news here to start our game day, as Patriots wide receiver Gunner Olszewski has been placed on the New England Patriots injured reserve. And that just seems to be a trend here with the New England Patriots. They've been placing a lot of players as of late on the injured reserve. And let's keep in mind that you can only bring back 3 players for the entire year that are placed on the injured reserve. Now, not exactly sure what happened here to Gunner Olszewski. Let's remember that this injury did happen after the media was allowed to watch the majority of practices, but from what we understand, it is some type of foot injury. It did keep him out a few practices. We knew that he was going to be out week 1 versus the Miami Dolphins, and the New England Patriots went and placed him on the injured reserve. So to me, that says that he most likely wouldn't have been able to come back week 2, probably not even week 3. Let's also remember that with the new rules for injured reserve, players have to be out for 3 weeks, which is a big improvement versus the, I believe, 8 weeks it was, which is about half the season. So again, 3 games, much better than the 8 games. So the earliest that Gunner Olszewski will be able to come back will be week 4, just like we've talked about with all the other guys placed on injured reserve versus the Kansas City Chiefs. One of the big things that I do want to note about this is the fact that is now the, 4th player that the New England Patriots have placed on the injured reserve already. And guys, we have not even started the season. So at this point, if the New England Patriots are to place guys on injured reserve throughout the season, more likely than not, their season's probably over. Currently, right now, you have Gunner Olszewski on injured reserve. You have Damien Harris, offensive tackle Yannick Kajust, and defensive tackle Bo Allen. Again, Patriots have 3 spots the entire year, and there is already 4 guys on that list. I think the Patriots want to bring back Damien Harris. I think they want to bring back Gunner Olszewski. Again, none of these sounded like they were season-ending injuries. And I do think they also at some point would like to bring back Bo Allen, more specifically if their defensive line is having issues. I think if their defensive line is having issues, they'll want to bring back Bo Allen. If their defensive line is performing fine, then I kind of believe that they won't end up bringing him back. But as of right now, I'm going to predict that they do want to bring him back. So even right there, those are your 3 players for the entire year. For me, Yannick Kajust has to be the odd man out in that situation just because he hadn't performed well all offseason. The New England Patriots do have a lot of depth at the offensive line position. They do have Justin Herron, the tackle that they drafted in 2020 that was performing much better than Kajust. Definitely a letdown for Kajust here. He'll be going into his 3rd year next year in the NFL, and he'll still be fighting for some type of spot next year. Which, again, I do think sucks because I think Yannick Kajust does have ability, but at the same time, I think it would have been smart to get him some type of snap count and, just some familiarity with the NFL and then see what he can do next training camp. But the fact that we have so many guys already on the injured reserve, Kajust has to be the odd man out here. The 23-year-old Gunner Olszewski had been making his name heard the entirety of offseason. Probably the biggest name, the most surprising name we heard throughout the few weeks that the Patriots actually got of training camp. I believe if we had all offseason programs, throughout the majority of those and the entirety of those, we would have been hearing about Gunner Olszewski. He made huge strides compared to where he was last offseason. And from what it was said, he looks like he is an actual NFL wide receiver. He put on some weight, he put on some build to him, which I think was very much needed. If you know me, you would know that I think Gunner Olszewski really needed that to really bring him to the next level for the NFL type of level. And from what we're hearing, his play style looks very familiar to what it was for Cole Beasley, who was with the Cowboys and is now with the Bills. Now, that's not to say he will beat Cole Beasley, but if he can play in that same type of play style, could be very beneficial for the Pats. Olszewski was definitely 100% climbing the charts for the Patriots wide receivers. In fact, to me, I think that he would have been the New England Patriots' third to fourth wide receiver. You have Julian Edelman, you have N'Keal Harry, and then you have Gunner Olszewski and Damiere Byrd. I think would kind of be between those guys to make it. And then you would have, of course, Jakobi Meyers. Gunner Olszewski, I think, definitely would have been above Jakobi Meyers, but also brought that ability as a punt returner. We know that it was a few times that he had punt returns actually and kickoff returns for a touchdown. So in all aspects of the game, he really, really upgraded compared to what we saw from last offseason. And this isn't to say that he was going to go for 1,000 yards or anything like that, but I think that he would have been a much better piece for this upcoming season than he would have been last year. And if you look at the wide receiver depth chart, we really did need him. We don't have much guys at this point. And the New England Patriots didn't promote or sign a wide receiver to the 53-man roster with the spot they have from placing Gunner Olszewski on the injured reserve. They promoted two guys, which we'll talk about in my next video. But I mean, at this point, you're kind of looking at Julian Edelman, N'Keal Harry, Damiere Byrd, Jakobi Meyers, and essentially that's it, which, again, very concerning. Before Olszewski, we had a lot of concerns about the receiver group, especially after they let go of Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu was let go. Gunner Olszewski is on injured reserve. This position just keeps getting worse. You have to imagine that Belichick knows this and has some type of move up his sleeve. I think we're all begging you, Belichick, make some type of move at wide receiver, because what we have right now, you're not giving Cam Newton enough weapons. But that is going to be it for today's video. Patriots wide receiver Gunner Olszewski, placed on the injured reserve, will be out for at least 3 weeks. We'll just have to see how things develop throughout the next couple of weeks. So let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. Remember to give this video a big, big thumbs up if you haven't already. And remember to subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Now, like always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video.